Now, your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Got rain showers and a few thunderstorms out there in Gulf waters, getting closer and closer to shore. That's all part of a trough of low pressure that'll eventually steer Irma off to the north between two areas of high pressure, and that will occur over the weekend. But right now, a little increase in our rain shower chances. I've bumped up our rain chances even a little bit more for this afternoon, up to about 40% or so for a lot of folks. Mix of sun and mostly clouds out there right now. We have 80-degree air temperature, dew point coming in at 78, north-northwest wind at about 7. You can see all the rain showers that are around through parts of the mid-Atlantic, stretching down through northern parts of Florida and really all the way back toward Texas. All of this part of that upper level trough with a surface reflection that is creating a weakness in that high pressure ridge that's directing Irma currently. We have some showers and even a few thunderstorms just offshore, just a few miles offshore. Actually, some pretty good thunderstorm activity. Could be some gusty winds and all of this as it moves onshore, and some pretty good downpours of rain as well. By the way, rainfall forecasts with the weekend coming up are, of course, very important to a lot of folks in terms of river and stream flooding. Looks like with the current forecast track, we'll start to be able to reduce the total amounts of rainfall that we might see over a 3 or 4 day period from as much as 10 inches where we once thought to perhaps 2 to 4 inches as that rain shield moves further and further east, assuming that whole forecast track works out. So that's good news. There's the high pressure ridge and the general wind out of the east that's steering Irma right now, heading it toward the U.S. Virgin Islands right now, and then eventually toward Puerto Rico, and then on to Hispaniola and Cuba, and eventually areas of the United States possibly. Frontal boundary sinking southward, producing the rain showers that we have seen, kind of causing that high pressure ridge to retreat a little bit. That weakness in the retreating high will allow Irma to curve to the north toward this trough. The big question is when that occurs. And that is something that we are going to watch very carefully through this weekend. If you were around when Charlie was here, you remember we had a similar sort of situation with a trough of low pressure located to the north, and we were very cognizant of exactly hour by hour where that storm was headed, because it is that trough of low pressure that's going to direct the motion of this storm as it stalls out over the Florida. So we'll be watching that very carefully as we head through the weekend, exactly when that turn to the north begins to take place. A difference in 4 or 5 hours in terms of it making that right-hand turn will have huge impacts on weather in the state of Florida. Sun-cloud mix today, better rain chances today, and we'll watch those winds start to pick up as our hurricane approaches by the weekend. Probably by at least Saturday night or Sunday morning, I think, we'll start to see the onset of some stronger winds, maybe even tropical storm force winds by that time. So Irma, very well-defined eye, has forecast model tracks which have shifted a little bit to the east. The majority of computer models now take it either up the east coast of Florida or just off the coastline heading towards South Carolina or North Carolina perhaps. There are still some computer models. They run these computer models with different initial conditions and different kinds of errors in the forecast just to see what would happen if something were a little different in the atmosphere. And some of them still put it up the west coast. So we're not out of the woods yet. The forecast error cone still extends all the way across the Florida Peninsula and through our area as well. But the good news is this system's forecast track is shifting a little to the east. Of course, right now, the bullseye is for South Florida, and that's a great worry as it will probably approach as a major hurricane. Forecast tracks were going to be adjusted over the next several days, so we'll be watching for that, and hopefully that eastward trend will continue. The forecast for today calls for that increase in rain chances to about 40%. And then as we head into the weekends, we'll start to see the winds picking up just a little bit. I suspect that the seas will be kind of rough around here as we head into the weekend. And then, of course, depending on the eventual track, and we still have a chance that eye could be close to us, of course, that is highly dependent on how our weekend weather will eventually shape up. Back to you.